have a Toyota 8-inch diffusion. This is like where it's on the Hilux right now. This is a spare one I had, and this is the Fj40 diffusion. So what I'm going to start to do is take some measurements so that we can cut out the spring bridges and weld them on top of the Land Cruiser 40 series diffusion, because we're gonna put the 40 series into the Hilux. You can see the size difference here from the two of them. So this is the 8-inch and the 9.5. This is the Toyota 8-inch diff from the pickup. If I do set for a caster angle of 3 degrees here, I have roughly say a pinion angle here of 79 degrees. And if I go over to the Land Cruiser diff here, set a caster angle of say roughly 1.5 to 2 degrees on the pinion angle. We basically have 0 degrees. So the two diffs, this side is a bit different to it, and we get about one degree more on this side. So the two diffs have different setups, so I'll just have to compromise and go with the 0 degrees pinion, and I'll try to go max I can get with the caster, which will be about 2 degrees on the caster. Anything more, I'll be putting the pinion down into the ground. Yeah, I have the spring bridges cut out from the old pickup diff. Yes, it is sort of aligned close and level. We'll have some spacing to fill here, as the part where I was resting on that diff was wider. I was like almost all the way up to here on the other diff. So as it's resting lower down here, there's more on the curvature, so we'll need some filling in to do. This is the other side, just resting on the diff here. So we're gonna try and set the I'll set the pinion angle to 0 degrees, well 90 degrees perpendicular, and here we will set this, while this is at 90 degrees at 0, we will set this 2 degrees plus 5 degrees for the wedge, so it should be about 7.5 degrees. We'll be setting this spring bridge to this face at 90 degrees, and hopefully that will just give us a caster angle of about 2 degrees, because this diff is mounted the diffusion here is mounted completely different to the pickups, so we'll have to use that for a while. And if we don't get through that, I'll have to cut here out and turn the entire this entire assembly here outside to adjust the caster, but I don't want to do that as yet. I'll set it up and see how it goes, but I know the pinion will be very low to the ground. So we got the spring bridges stacked up. This one, this one. Yeah, the base of the spring bridges I'll cut out after, so I'll cut these out afterwards. I will off. So if you check here, we have like 89.5 on the pinion angle. We have 7.4, and this one, this one is about 7.9, 7.8, 7. So we pretty close with both spring pictures. When I measured it from the factory, they were off like about 1 degree, 1 to 2 degrees. So hopefully we get them better, but this is very hot, so the readings are changing, like fluctuating between 0.5 degrees as I put the heat on it. So I'm gonna weld them off, and then once we complete that, I'll cut out the base and check to see if I need to weld in a piece underneath here so that the U-clamp could clamp it without it sliding. So another simple modification you can make to these diffs is adding in a 15/16 nut into these steering stops. So I normally put 8, 2 on either side, but I only have 4 nuts right now. So I just put on the bottom side here, I just put in one on each corner. So when I flip over the diff to the top, when I do get 4 more, I can just put it on top and weld it while it's on the vehicle. So the purpose of this is the steering stops tend to compress, and when it compresses, it causes the steering to overlock, and when it overlock, it causes the CV joints to break. So that is probably why I was fortunate to only ever break one CV joint for all the years of off-roading, because I limit the steering movement so it doesn't go to full lock, and by that it keeps the CV joint straighter. I did the same modification on the 8-inch diff on the Hilux right now, and have that modification done roughly like probably 8 years now, and it hold up well. So it's a good modification to prevent the steering stops from collapsing. So now finish up most of the welding on the diff. So you weld off the 2 spring pictures. I end up getting 1 more nut, so we have 5 nuts thing. We're missing 3 in the steering stops. Here we have a cast angle of about 2.6 on the spring pitch. I have 8.6, and this starting to get some trouble now. Battery in it is like a bit low or something. So we have about 8.4 there. We have a pinion angle of basically 90 and 7.4. So this one we got not really moving much because this was the angle we set at it, and this one we off 1 degree. So with all the heat and everything we pointed, we got that one off a degree. We have 2.8 cast angle here, and this one was about 3.3 cast angle. So I forgot to show you all the measurements on the diff. So we have about, I just trying to stretch across it over this. So we have about 29.25 on the existing Toyota Hilux diff, and on this one we have roughly same 29.25. Only difference I got here was when I sent up everything, take measurements. This one hole to the center is about inch and about 9 3/8, and this one, if I measure, is about 9 1/8. So that means the entire Hilux will probably like 9 more like 9.25, so it's like about the, it will just be like a 8 to the left, but that might be negligible because I may take up all the slop in the holes here and all these things. That will be negligible, so I don't see that being a problem. So here on the Hilux, we're gonna drop out the front suspension, front diff, swap it with the Land Cruiser Fj40 housing that I was working on. So what I need to do is find a way to jack this Hilux from the ground to the chassis, so that we could take off the front springs and diff have it suspended, because I don't know, this height here we have about probably like about, I'll say like 28 inches. So you can see this side of the vehicle is lean. What I'll do is, when I take out the diff housing, what I'll do is swap just the front spring, the left side front, put it on the right side, and the right side front, put it on the left side, and leave the back as is, and hopefully we could straighten out the difference in the vehicle. As you can see, the two shackles, that one we have a nice angle on it, this one is a bit straight, so hopefully by swapping both of them we will get the vehicle a little bit more level. In the back here, I just trying a project here where I using a double shackle design. Not sure I went once off-road with it before I parked the vehicle. It worked good, but I don't think I got the amount of flex that I was expecting, so I don't know if I'll just remove this and put like a 8-inch shackle here, but we will see how it goes, because if I just use the 6-inch alone, the spring goes all the way back up to the chassis and the rest flat. I got these jack stands under the vehicle. There's the max height again right now with just one set of concrete blocks underneath. So I'll take out the tires and drop the jack down as much and hope that I can get the vehicle resting on the stands. So I just have the tires slightly off the ground and we will begin to remove them. Got the vehicle on the jack stands, just enough to work on the diff, but a bit shaky, so may have to put some sort of safety blocks underneath. But I'll go ahead and see how best I can chop off this diff. You can see when last I installed these, I put some copper coat anti-seize here, so you can see that helped with taking out the ends. So one of the best tools to removing the brakes line fittings like this is this channel lock, is slip jaw pliers. I tend to find these work the best, because like for fittings that are sitting in mud, water and been out in all the sort of conditions, they tend to be seized, and most of these nuts are already old in vehicles and a bit worn, so if you have a spanner that's not really the greatest of spanners, this tends to work the best to take it out. Just once I can get a grip on it. So easy. There's just it do dig into the nut a bit, but imagine if this is digging into the nut, how much of a spanner would have been slipping on it. So far, anytime I need to break one of these or disconnect one of these brake line fittings, I just go straight to the channel lock now, because it never lets you down where a spanner may slip a lot. Another good practice when you're working is, as much as the bolts you could catch back on any location that you take it out from while disconnecting is great. So like here on the end, I catch back the nut, the castle nut on the steering end. Here I try to pull back the clip. Once it could stay on, yeah, catch back the wheel nuts. So as I go through, tend to keep all the nuts or bolts, try to catch them back once able to catch them back, because it make reassemble very easy. Let's see the two springs. The one that came off the right side is slightly a little bit more bored, well, less bored than the one on the left side. So the right, I probably right was sagging some more. So so you take out this wheel, other changes, bushings. Let's see the one. These bushings not even long in here. These bushings only here for probably like about, yeah, these bushings probably only inside here for about, say, 4,000 km, and they already worn through. So I have to get some new bushings for these as well. Yeah, we're just getting ready to swap the spring wedge. Well, not swap the spring wedge, but take them out before I put back in the springs, and realize that I just did this one and realize that the king bolt here is, well, the thread will be too long in it. So now one time get these pieces of spring, I'll put them in front here, and hopefully that take up the thickness of the bolt. So let me take it out and show you what I did. I always hope that we have a good cast angle and pinion angle once we go up with everything and assemble, else not all of it come down and put back in the wedges, the small 5-degree wedge, the spring wedge. So when I was welding in these spring breeches, I cater a extra 5 degrees into it to cater for the wedge, so just hoping that we do get good angles. So here I have the Hilux sitting on the jack stands up front. I unloaded these jack stands here, which was lifting the body, so we back on the diff. Went ahead, tighten up here the U-clamps. This one probably needs some more spacers, and these U-clamps I will need to change them because they have some corrosion on them, like all here where it's a bit pitted, so we have to change those. So we at this will where the diff angle will be, where the van will be right at, and because we loaded back the diffs, we're not on the body again, so the spring, everything is loaded. So we could check to see what we may be getting for a cast angle. So here we still reading, now we have negative. We have about -4 degrees, which is good. On the right side, let's see what we get on. On the right side, on the other hand, we have positive. No, we got 0 here. So we also have -5 degrees on the right side, which is good. And on the we have a pinion angle of just like 3 degrees here, facing up. All the measurements work out exact like what we measured for, with eliminating the spring wedge. Here's a 106 hub, and this is the hub I just drilled out, so you can see the additional holes. And this is a IFS hub, rotor, sorry, all rotors, 106 rotor drilled out, and IFS rotor. This is the hub here. So this is a IFS hub, and this is a 106 hub here. So the 106 hub, the rotor is mounted differently. It is mounted with these two bolts, and the wheel studs go directly through the rotor and the hub. On the IFS, the studs mount to the hub, and the rotor is then bolted separately to the IFS hub. So that is the reason why I needed to drill it out, and it mounts differently to the 106. Pinion angle looks a bit low than what I prefer. So we'll have to see how it works out. If not, I will have to cut here and turn the entire side for the caster to raise back the pinion, but then we'll have to cut the envelope and everything. So I'll work it and see how it goes so far. But right now the pinion angles look very, very low. Okay, we get ready to start assemble this knuckle. So I have the lip seal to put in here, the axle seal. So that I'll be using the seal driver and I'll just put some grease on the seal before I start. So I've assembled these spindles, but just now I was going through the bag of parts for the long field swap, axle swap, and so there were some clips for the axle, which was the inner CV. I thought it came mounted on the CV side and it just knocked in the axles. However, finding those clips now made me believe that it's not there, so I'm gonna take back out the axle and check and see if they have the clip. So took out the axle, it doesn't have the clip on it, and these are the clips which I'm speaking about. As well as it came with these seals. I used some seals that I bought from a different kit. I didn't realize they came with the kit. The seals came with the inner axle seal came with the long fields, because I bought this long fields since 2020. Parts came with it. I forgot I even had these, where I just came across this and then realized that the clips was in the bag here with the seals. And what I did last year was just knocking the axle thinking that there was a clip inside, but when I came across the clip here, I realized that there wasn't thing. So I just took back out the axle, check it, and well, as you can see, there's no clip. So gonna install the clip and then reassemble the entire hub on the vehicle. So here I've reassembled everything, and I realized I made a huge error. I forgot to install the felt to the back here. There is something I need to put on first before everything else, so I have a tiny box. So I don't think I'm gonna disassemble everything. And what I might do is just cut the felt and the rubber and put them on and see if it will work, because I don't think I'll remove the entire hub again, because our proper preload I done reassemble. So here we just pause working on the Hilux. Right, so you have the Hilux here. You have the front diff in. Just need to sort out the brakes at the front, the hubs, the solid flange for the front. You need to sort out that, and well, brakes at the back and dry shaft, and then should be able to get the van running. However, we stopped on that because the tractor blew out some ram seals a while back, and we went yesterday and made some seals, so gonna reinstall it and then continue on the Hilux. Yeah, I got the RAM installed. Took like about say 5 to 10 minutes to install. Wasn't difficult at all with a small RAM. So I'm gonna try and see if I can start on the tractor. Last time when first start, the battery was dead. So yeah, so you could see it's dead because the light is lighting very dim. So I'll put this battery on charge overnight, and in the morning I'll go fast start. So I got the tractor started. So I think I have connected the hose wrong side, so I'm gonna swap the hoses. I don't know how I made that error, but I think the two hoses wrong side. I think both hoses are swapped, so I need to change them because the tractor is lifting and dropping and doing all sorts of crazy stuff. So I'm gonna swap the hose and see. On the rear of the Hilux, I swapped in a Fj40 rear diff. I unfortunately lost all the footage of me videoing, making the brackets and so forth to install the Fj40. So here I just have a few pictures that I compiled together of when I was installing the Fj40 diff and taking all the measurements and making the spring purchase. So we left the Hilux in the garage because we're doing some construction work. I have to cast this foundation here so that I can put on my hydraulic lift. So the Hilux was outside there while working on it. And since the Hilux have no brakes and no drive system really in it, because all the drive shafts and everything is out. For brakes and this not rolling back down into the garage, just using a ratchet strap from the truck back to the Hilux. So and I just pushing the tractor to get it into the garage, and after that just ease off the strap and let it just roll into the garage.